All right, you guys. So today we're still talking about multiplicative comparison problems. All right, you guys. So you should be used to solving these now. I know you're like, oh, Miss Brown, I'm so tired of this. Or maybe you guys are like, yes, I love this. So hopefully by today you'll get a better understanding and get used to solving these types of problems. All right. So we're going to read the problem and see why this is a multiplicative comparison problem first. So it says Maria read 9 books this summer. Carlos read 6 times as many books. How many books did Carlos read? Well, I know this is a multiplicative comparison problem because it says times as many. Anytime it says times as many, all right, I know I need to do my 3 steps and write my variables, equation, and solve. All right, so that's how I know this is a multiplicative comparison. So the very first step is to do what again? Great, write down my variables. So I'm going to write down my variables of the two things that I am comparing. So as I look at this problem, I'm thinking, what am I comparing? Well, it says Maria read 9 books this summer and Carlos read 6 times as many books. So there's 2 people here I'm comparing. I'm comparing Maria and Carlos. So that means, what are my variables for Maria and Carlos? Great, M and C. So M is for Maria and so M is for Maria, and then C is for Carlos. Let me change that right here. So M, Maria, C for Carlos. All right, so we have our variables written down. What is our second step? Great, our second step is to write 2 equations. So we're going to write the equation down here. So I know that I'm going to read it again sentence by sentence to write my equations using my variables. So it says Maria read 9 books this summer. So I have to write that equation. Well, Maria stands for M. Instead of saying Maria, we're going to say M. So I'm going to say M equals how many books? 9 books. So M equals 9 books this summer. Got my first sentence. Now let me see my next sentence. Carlos, what letter represents Carlos? C. So Carlos read 6 times as many books. So that means I'm putting 6 times as many books. Even though it doesn't say 6 times as many books as Maria, we know that it's 6 times as many books as Maria. So I'm just going to put an M here. Even though it doesn't say Maria at the end, I know it's 6 times as many books as Maria. All right, I wrote my 2 equations. Now I need to solve it. So the question says, how many books did Carlos read? So I'm going to solve this problem now. So in order to solve this problem, I have to plug in for M. I got to figure out what does M equal. M equals 9. So this is C, this is M. So I'm going to cross out M and I'm going to plug in a 9 here. So now C equals 6 times 9. I can multiply 6 times 9, right? So what is 6 times 9? Great, 54. So that means Carlos read 54 books. That is my answer. All right, so you guys should have gotten the hang of writing your steps, your variables, and solving. All right, let's look at a different question. All right, Carly's classroom is 8 meters long. The hallway is 72 meters long. How many times longer is the hallway than the classroom? Now we know that with this problem is a little different from this one because this problem says blank times as many. This is asking me how many times longer is something. So if they're asking me how many times longer something is, and Carly's classroom is 8 meters, and the hallway is 72 meters, I'm looking for that difference. Not that difference, but how many times. So I'm thinking, how do I get from 8 to 72? So how many times would that be? When I ask you how many times something is, you're not multiplying these two. You're trying to see 8 times what would give me 72. So remember, if you can't multiply, the opposite of multiplication is division. You can do 72 divided by 8 to figure out what goes here. So 8 times what? equals 72. Great job, 9. So it is 9 times longer. So I will put 9 times longer as my answer. So with problems like this, you don't have to write your equations, your variables, or anything like this. All you need to do is look and figure out how many times longer something is. All right? Okay, so we're going to solve this problem. Keyshawn has 18 books. This is 3 times as many books as Raj. How many books does Raj have? So I know that this is a multiplicative comparison problem because I'm looking at times as many. All right, so I have to write my steps. So the first thing I need to do is find my variables. So what are my 2 variables that I'm writing here? Who are the 2 people we're comparing, or the 2 things we're comparing? Great, we're comparing Keyshawn and Raj. So I'm going to put K for Keyshawn and R for Raj. All right, number 2, we're going to solve it sentence by sentence. What would my first equation be? Great, my first equation is with this first sentence. So Keyshawn has 18 books. So that means I have to put K equals 18. That is my first sentence. Now my next equation will be my second sentence. So this is 3 times as many books as Raj. So when I look at this, when I start with this is who are we referring to? Who are we talking about? We were talking about Keyshawn, right? So it doesn't say Keyshawn, but it says this is. But we know that this is meaning Keyshawn. So we have to write down Keyshawn again. So this is 3 times as many. So we're going to put 3 times as many books as Raj. All right. So you see how I did that. Anytime it starts with this is, we're referring back to that same person again. So this is 3 times as many books as Raj. All right. Third step is to go ahead and solve this problem. So what letter do we know? Do I know what my K is, or do I know what my R is in this equation? Great, I know what my K is. My K equals, what does my K equal? 18. So I know K equals 18. So I have to cross out for K. I can't cross out for R because I don't know what R is. But I know what K equals. K equals 18. So I'm going to cross out for K and put 18. So I have 18 equals 3 times R. Can I solve 3 times R? No, I can't multiply a number by a letter. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Great, division. So you can do 3 times what equals 18, or just do 18 divided by 3 to figure this out. So what is my answer when I solve this? 18 divided by 3. Great, 6. So that means that Raj has 6 books. So 6 would be my answer. All right, you guys, so we found out 2 ways to solve a multiplicative comparison problem, dividing or multiplying. And we looked at times as many. Not times as many, but how many times longer something is. All right, you guys did amazing today.